Hi everyone, it's Coach Fred here, and I was asked to make a couple videos on some problems you were working on, but I'm actually in the airport, so it's kind of loud, so hopefully this works. But the directions might say something like solve for the variable by clearing fractions. And the idea with clearing fractions is you want to get rid of them because they make the question more complicated. But I think it's really important to know that when you solve an equation for a variable, you're finding the number that when you plug it back in, it makes the equation a true statement. So remember that because that's your goal. You're trying to find the variable. All right, so to clear fractions, the first thing we have to do is we have to find the lowest common denominator. I'm going to go off to the side and I'm going to find it. So my denominator, I have a 5 and 2. The lowest number they both go into would be the number 10. So that's the lowest common denominator. So I'm going to multiply every single term on both sides of the equation by 10. Because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. All right, so if I multiply 10 times 2w, I'm going to get 20w minus. Okay, so now remember I told you, you want to do your math off to the side. You're multiplying 10 times 3/5. Okay, so you want to put the 10 over 1 and then simplify before you multiply. So I would say, okay, 5 goes into itself once and it goes into 10 twice. So then 2 times 3 is 6. So minus 6. It's already looking better. Okay, and then I have 10 over 1 times 1/2. Well, 2 and 10 are common factors. So 2 goes into itself once. It goes into 10 5 times. So 5 times 1 is 5. All right, so then we balance the equation. Remember, we bring the 6 to the other side. So we want to isolate the variable. So we're going to add 6 to both sides because whatever we do to one side, we want to do to the other. So the 6's will cancel, giving us 20w equals 11. All right, then I'm going to divide both sides by 20. All right, and then my answer is going to be y equals 11 over 20. All right, so now you could check your answer. You could plug it back in and then subtract it from 3/5 to see if it equals 1/2. You also could do that on your calculator and check it. But hopefully that was helpful. Let's try one more. All right, so now we have variables on both sides of the equation. So I have negative 1/4 w minus 3 equals w plus 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to first find my LCD. Okay, so 3 and 4, their lowest common denominator would be 12. All right, so that means I have to multiply every single term by 12. Even this little guy here, even this little guy here. Sorry, it's a little messy. All right, so I'm going to make my little area to do my work. Negative 1/4 times 12 over 1. Remember, put that 12 over 1. 4 goes into itself once. 12 3 times. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3w. All right, I have a negative 3 times 12, which is negative 36. There were no fractions there, so nothing had to be cleared out. I have 12 times w, which I hope you can see is just 12w. Then I have 1/3 times 12. I'm going to write the 12 over 1. I'm going to simplify before I multiply. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4, so plus 4. I'm going to check all my signs. I'm really going to be careful with all this because there's a lot of stuff. I see a minus there, plus, plus. So I verify I've got my minuses. Okay, now I'm going to balance the equation. So that means I want to get the variable to one side and the numbers to the other. So in this case, I'm probably going to bring the negative 3 to the other side because I want to bring the negatives to the positives. Okay, so that's going to give me negative 36 equals 15w plus 4. Okay, I need to isolate that variable, so I got to get the 4 on the other side. So I'm going to subtract 4 to both sides. All right, so the 4's will cancel, leaving me with 15w. Negative 36 and negative 4, we add the numbers and keep the sign, so that would be negative 40. and then we divide by 15. Okay, so we always want to simplify our final answers. And so I can recognize, because 40 ends in 0 and 15 ends in 5, that they're both divisible by 5. So I'm going to simplify that to negative 8 over 3. So W equals negative 8 over 3. And also just be careful, because we don't want to forget that little negative sign there, which is why the answer is a negative value. Okay, remember that answer means, and I always box my answers, but that answer means if I plug it in, I'm going to get a true statement. Okay? And hopefully that's helpful. All right, have a great day.